what we as Americans need in our leadership. I've had the honor to watch up close my congressman, Stephen Lynch, who has, his life story is really everything that America stands for. Born and raised in South Boston, in public housing, went to work in a blue-collar job as an iron worker, a very dangerous job, became a voice and an advocate for those workers, rose through the ranks of his union, put himself through school, put himself through law school, saw his voice and his ability to advocate grow, realized he could be a voice for others, get into the political arena as first a state rep, then as my state senator, and now as my U.S. congressman. He is exactly what the future of this country needs, of voices, more voices, like Stephen Lynch, who's standing for and pushing Joe Biden to be the leader of our free world, the leader of this country, the voice, the uniter in chief that we need right now. I'd like to bring up my congressman, Stephen Lynch.
Thank you, Wetzel. I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you for your very, very generous remarks. I really appreciate it. And everyone from the firefighters, the laborers, I know we've got some iron workers here, you know, other than myself. I want to thank everybody who has come here. Look, you really understand. I think if you're in this room, you understand how important this is, right?
That's right.
This is what it's all about. You know, I'm spending a lot of time in Washington on impeachment and all that stuff, and you know, I know we're going to go with articles of impeachment probably in a couple of weeks. But regardless of where that goes, we have to decide in this upcoming election where the country's going to go. And you know, I've known Joe Biden. I've worked with him, right? I've been a member of Congress for almost 20 years now, so I worked with Joe when he was a United States Senator. Obviously worked with him very closely when he was our vice president with the Obama administration. Look, Joe is a good and decent man.
Indeed.
And the American people know who he is, right? They know who he is. They've seen him as a U.S. Senator. He was the chair of the Foreign Relations Committee for years. He was our vice president. He was front and center with the Obama administration. He handled a lot of our foreign policy, a lot of the flashpoints around the world he handled on our behalf. So not only does he have the respect of the American people here at home, but also foreign leaders. You know, I spend a lot of time overseas because of my committee assignments. And I meet with a lot of foreign leaders over the past 18 years. And I'll tell you, for the past 3 years, for those foreign leaders, our allies, that have been with us through thick and thin, it's not always the first question I get, but usually the second or third question I get is, what's up with your president? What's going on? What's going on? Where is America? You know, where are you going? Where are you taking the world? Where is the leadership? There's real doubt out there. And, you know, I think it's our responsibility to make sure that we have someone in the White House who has the right ideals, the right principles, the right sense of our national purpose to guide this country. And Joe is a steady hand. He's a steady hand. He respects the institutions of our government. And he knows. At the end of the day, we know that for some of the Trumpers, we're never going to get them. And that's not the goal here, right? We know that there are a lot of hardworking people in this country who believed Trump's line back in 2016, that he was going to make America great again. And we know that that is not true, and it is far from the truth. and we know that we need to get back to a sense of normalcy in this country and get away from this divisive atmosphere where people are at each other's throats. And Joe Biden is a unifier. He's the type of person that will bring people together. He knows this job. He's been in federal government, knows how important it is to portray strength in the White House and constancy. We're not going to remove this president we're not going to remove President Trump with pitchforks and torches. We're going to use the election, we're going to use the Constitution, we're going to use hard work, and we're going to have to persuade our neighbors, especially here in New Hampshire. This is one of those swing states where it'll be, and also it's a state where people are looking for direction. It's such an early state that people look and see, who wins New Hampshire is a bellwether state. So it's very, very important, the work that you're doing out here today. I know in my heart that this is the most important work I can be doing today, is to try to get Joe Biden elected President of the United States. That's the most So we've got a good plan here, we've got everything marked out. We know who the good voters are.
Yep.
And you're gonna be the face of the Biden campaign.
That's right.
You're gonna go to your neighbors here in New Hampshire, and we're gonna tell our story as to why we think Joe Biden is the best person to lead this country. And remember, there are a lot of people who are looking for that direction. They're looking for stability. They're looking for reassurances that this country still stands for liberty and equality and opportunity for all. And those are the things that, look, Joe Biden is a blue-collar person. He understands that the middle class is really the trustee of the American dream, right? That's why you have so many firefighters here, so many people who work for a living. That's why I think Joe Biden offers the greatest promise for America, to fulfilling our promise to the American people. So let's get out there, greet everyone with a smile. You got the right message, you got the right candidate.
Yeah.
We just have to create that opportunity to make sure that people understand how good and decent Joe Biden is and that he can be trusted. This is all about trust. And look, we've got the right candidate. Believe me, we've got the right candidate. He is head and shoulders above everyone else with his experience and the fact of the person who really is. And I think nationally, you feel that. You see the polls that Joe is the one who can win in those swing states. He's the one who can appeal to the people in the Midwest, the hardworking people in some of those swing states like Ohio and Pennsylvania and New Hampshire. So there's an innate wisdom here in New Hampshire. People really do appreciate what's best about America and the opportunity that it presents. So we just have to tap into that. And I think it helps us greatly to be assisted by the International Association of Firefighters. There's no group in our society that personifies courage on a daily basis and the protection of the American people than the firefighters. They do it every single day, and we're blessed to have them with us. And believe me, Joe Biden, of all the endorsements he may get, I know Senator Kerry is going to come up here tomorrow, former Secretary of State Kerry, but I know the endorsement that means the most to Joe Biden was the endorsement that he received from the International Association of Firefighters. They are right up front, and so be safe today, and you're doing God's work. Thank you very much.